Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katrie, and today we're going to be chopping some more books off my TBR. Alright guys, so you guys know the drill by now, I think. I pick 2 books, and I just have like numbers written down in here. I pick 2 of these books and I count, although that's going to be a little bit crazy now that I have a nice new little TBR shelf cart thingy. It was a cart, and it's carpet in here, and so I took the wheels off because it just wasn't as steady. So I still call it my cart. But this whole bottom shelf is all my chopping block books, so I'm excited to get into it. This is just a very chill video. We talk, we chop, like we're trimming it down. I love just hanging out with you guys, and yeah, I got my little Yeehaw mug. Okay, my daughter got this for me for Mother's Day. It's so cute. I was like, I also got me a jean jacket, and I was just kind of like, in my head, I was like, somebody wants me to keep my southern roots. But it's so nice. I love it. Anyway, I'll put away my water. I'm just very parched right now for some reason. But yeah, we're gonna get into this video, and we're going to chop some books off and see what I will be reading and deciding whether or not to chop. Okay. The first one is number 5. Let's see what number 5 is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a memoir. A random memoir I have for some odd reason. Who knows why? This is My Mistake. It is by Daniel Mimmaker. I think just the cover drew me in, and it was like really cheap. I actually do remember getting this. I got this at 2nd & Charles, which means it had to have been at least 6 to 8 years ago. Yeah, this has been on my shelf for a while, and I've never picked it up because am I that into memoirs? Not really, unless I'm that interested in a person. I don't know who this is. So this is on the chopping block this week. Let's see if it gets chopped or not, right? And then the second book is going to be number 3. All the way at the beginning here. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, this is a popular book. This is The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. I picked this up because I've been hearing a lot of good things about Riley Sager as an author, and this was the cheapest book they had. So I was like, I'm not spending more money than I have to when I'm just trying out an author. But they are I'm not sure if this is a guy or a girl. I want to say it's a guy, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comments if you know. So this is a thriller author, and I had a really bad spout with like psychological type thrillers. I'm not sure if his are psychological or hers are psychological or not. I think some of them are. I think they kind of are, maybe a mix. But I had a really bad bout, and I just hated them. I felt like they were all the same plot. I was guessing the ending, and I just hated it. And there was just so much infidelity and awfulness and sinfulness. And I know, like, it's a thriller, like there's, you know, but it was just, the ones I was reading was a lot of sexual sin in it. And I was like, I don't need this. Like, I want a good thriller. I don't want a drama of who slept with who. So yeah, so this kind of got put on the back burner because I was a little scared. So now we're gonna check it out and see if this author is really as good as everyone says they are. So this will actually be interesting. This one I'm not looking forward to, honestly. I'm not looking forward to My Mistake, but this one I feel like will be more interesting. We'll see though. You never know. Books could surprise you, but this is what we have on the chopping block today. The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager, and My Mistake by a memoir by Daniel Mimmaker. So that is what we're going to be going up against today. Let's just get into reading, guys. Alright guys, so I am now starting The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. I'm going to go ahead and read chapter 1, and we will see what I think of this and if I will continue. So guys, I am going to start My Mistake, a memoir by Daniel Maymaker. Alright guys, so I am back. I have read or gone through, whatever you like to call it, my books. Again, we had My Mistake, a memoir by Daniel Maymaker. This was a memoir. I guess it's about a guy in the publishing world who wrote for Vogue magazine. And then The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. This is a thriller. So on this video, what did I do? I chopped this one, guys. I couldn't get into this memoir. I didn't know who this guy was, so I chopped it. And I read this one. Okay. So like I said, I read this one, The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. And I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a rundown of what I thought. So since I literally did not get past the first chapter of this, I just wasn't interested. Memoirs, guys, you have to actually be like interested and know who the person is, I feel like, to really get invested in a memoir. At least I do. So yeah, just had no idea, nothing really to say about this one. But this one, guys. All right, let's get into this. I will say that for once, because I have continually talked about on here how every single thriller seems to have some sort of underlying everything is about cheating plot, and it was really getting on my nerves and the most unoriginal thing ever. And I will say props to Riley Sager for finally not having a cheating plot be the main string of the entire story. So yeah, good for that. I have given this a solid 3 stars. So that's not very high. This wasn't one of my favorites. I think part of it was the setting. It's a summer camp, teenage girls. It's a lot. I didn't love that setting or like just that plot line. So I feel like I might like one of those other books more, but I almost DNF'd this because it was slow. It's a thriller and it was slow. So I'm gonna say I was like 80 pages in, I think, and I was sitting here and I was like, I'm going crazy. Like, nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. This is too slow. I am bored out of my mind. My friend was like, just start skimming, you know. I get like 160 pages and I'm like, okay, I'm really gonna start, you know, like, but I think it wasn't until like, I want to say they don't even get back to the camp for things to actually start taking place until after like 100 and something pages. This book is, I think it was like 360 something. Yeah, 369 pages, I believe. So it was way too long for me. I think you could have cut out 100 pages of this and you still could have gotten the same, like, so I'm not going to give any like spoilers or super big details, but I will say this. I did not guess everything with the end, which I was happy about. Yes, I like to guess the person, but I also don't like it to be like my first guess, my most obvious, like, this is the predictable thing. Part of it was that, but not all of it. So I did like what he did with the end and how it turned out, like, as a whole. There was a couple of different like twists at the end, not just one. So I liked that. Honestly, this last quarter of the book probably, well, let me see. This is actually put into 2 parts, which I also thought was interesting, but it worked well. So from 249, right before part 2, up to part 2, and Alive, loved it. So this is only like this much of the book that I loved. and it was really good, and it had me, you know, like, it was great. Before then, only I would say probably the 2 chapters, 2, maybe 3 chapters before, that's part 2, gave you any clue as to why, or like, you know, as to what happened. Nowhere else does it actually give you any of these clues that they like, that he allures to, and is like, oh, well, this is how, you know how thrillers go. He said this, so, and this means this, and this is how they did it, and, you know, yada, yada, yada. Those were not in the entire first half of the book. There was nothing there. And so I'm sitting here like, so we're just getting repeated backstory and present day of repeating the same event without actually ever telling us any of the details that are important until almost part 2. And then you finally tell us the important details that actually have something to do with figuring out. And I'm sitting here like, what was the first 200 pages about? What was the first 200 pages doing there? So for me, I was honestly pretty bored throughout most of this, and you shouldn't be bored through a thriller. But at the same time, I really liked the last quarter, and it just, he didn't put cheating in there, so yeah. Because of those reasons, I did give it a 3 stars. I'm not sure if I'll keep this or not, but, you know, what are you gonna do? We have 2 more books that are chopped off of our TBR, so I am pretty happy about that. Nonetheless, we are working our way down. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know if you've read Riley Sager, and if you think I should check out a different book. If you think this one was just a flop for me, I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.